Welcome to the channel, welcome to the chat, welcome to the live, welcome to the stream. Like, subscribe, and share, please. I appreciate you. So today's topic, as I said, is is it a normal standard or is it an unrealistic expectation? And the question that we was just getting into before we had to have a quick intermission was the coffee date, the walk in the park. Is that unrealistic to reject that because it's not high enough standard compared to social media, for example? So I think I already gave the reasons why I think it's reasonable enough to reject it. I think it's reasonable enough to reject it if you're a girl that you want a guy to be able to show what he's capable of, show his interest level, and usually the grander the gesture or the grander the restaurant, etc., makes you feel like, okay, there's a high interest level. This guy is spending money on me. He actually wants to get to know me, etc. So I can understand that. And if you look at social media, for sure it's inflated some of these first dates or just dates in general, right? Because people are now posting. And before, when you had no idea what people are doing on dates, now you have every idea down to the starter, main, dessert, everything, the entree. You got a 5-star review in that social media post. But I don't think it's unreasonable to reject that. To be fair, I really don't think it's unreasonable. But let me give you the other perspective. For the guy, whether he has money or not, it's not really about that. It's about, okay, in the early days and the first date, you don't really know that person, okay? This person could be a psycho, there could be a serial killer, or or the energy, it could be less dramatic and the energy just doesn't match. But then you've gone and spent 200, 300 pounds on a date with somebody that, you never want to see again. So you can say that's, in some ways, it's a waste of investment, it's a waste of time, it's a waste of money. So you would want a vibe check. And I think vibe checking is becoming more and more popular, to be honest. The coffee date or the walk by the Thames is a good shout in a sense of it's public, okay, right? So anything happens, it's public. You have easy ways to get on public transport and leave. You have that leeway. It's in front of people, nothing's gonna happen to you, you're not gonna get kidnapped, etc. That's number one. Number two, usually those things happen in the afternoon. The good thing about afternoon walk or afternoon coffee, and talk, it's like, okay, we've been chatting for an hour, we've been walking for an hour. I think that, hey, I kind of like this person. There's a good vibe here. They passed the vibe check. Let's go get dinner, or let's go do something. Let's go to a gallery. And then the date becomes something a little bit more because you have that leeway. If you have a first date in the evening, what's going to happen next? Really, there's this pressure of, okay, let's go back to my place, let's go back to your place type thing. And maybe that's what you want. But, for those people who don't really want to do that on the first date or the first time they meet someone, when you meet in the afternoon and you have that walk, you have that coffee, you can go for dinner and extend the date. And there's no pressure, right? You can extend the date and you can spend more time with that person, which is kind of like a nice option to be able to have. So that one is a bit difficult to, that one's a bit difficult to answer. But really good question. I think it's reasonable and unreasonable at the same time. Because at the same time, it's like, how do you expect somebody that just knows you to again, spend X amount of money on you or take you to X amount of place? But at the same time, I think if you have that standard, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think that's like a bad thing. It could be a little bit unreasonable, but that's also okay. All right, W's in the chat.
You think that I think it's fair for a guy to have a realistic or like to have a mad high standard.
For the
That's
girl,
fair. Yeah.
her standard in what aspect though? Are you talking
Like
physically or?
feel like, yeah,
Like she needs to be a 10 out of 10. Was that what you mean?
kind of like, I guess, just in the sense of like, I think girls definitely like have standards when it comes to dating, whereas I think more guys and just don't really have standards at all. They're like, oh, if this person's good looking and they have nice whatever, then I'm just good to go. Whereas girls are like, maybe I want the guy to be stable, I want him to earn X amount, I want him to have this job, I want him to be this tall, you know, or whatever it is.
Well, okay. Uh, I think I understand what you're trying to say. So I think the question here is it standard or unrealistic for guys to have high standards for women? Because women seem to have very high standards for men. So I think both sides of the coin are unrealistic. Both sides of the coin. Some of the specifications of what a woman would want their man to be, realistically speaking, the guy that they are describing, 9 times out of 10, wouldn't pick her. So that's why it's unrealistic. Because they may want Prince Charming, but are you a princess? Right? They could be a commoner aspiring for Prince Charming. That's just unrealistic. Prince Charming is looking for other princesses. Right? So that's just that, the 2 cents on that. And on the flip side, for the guys, I think guys have lower standards in terms of personality, maybe comes second. Whether they are even working comes second. Like no guy's not necessarily concerned with how much money his girl's making, or what type of job she has, or or yeah, exactly. Like those types of financials, or even personality. To be honest with you, if she's hot enough, then he's interested enough. Is Here's the 2 cents for that. Which makes some things simple, but it's unrealistic in the sense of, that beauty that she has or that she carries is only gonna last for so long. At some point, even the guy gets numb to it. You get numb if you see it every single day for 6 months. Yeah, she's hot, but you're gonna get numb to that, and then her personality is gonna come through, and you realize that, oh, actually, she's just a terrible person. She's a terrible person in a hot person's body type thing. So I think it's unrealistic either way, because those guys with those unrealistic expectations for the female body, um, or behavior in the bedroom, for example, and accessibility to those types of things, is like, it's a bit, that's not realistic, because that's not realistic because, as I said to you, those things are not what are going to fulfill a sustainable relationship. That's for sure. So, it is an interesting one, and that's like a bust. That's like a podcast in its own, really, going into the detail about that. But the long story short, I think both sides are unreasonable. You can have whatever expectations that you have, but I think you also need to look at yourself and ask yourself, what expectations do you hold, what standards do you hold yourself to for you to be able to have expectations of your partner. Over 6 foot, or a guy wanting to go realistic. And I will go out to say, that's controversial, but I don't think it's unrealistic for you to want to have a guy that is 6 foot tall. I don't think it's unrealistic for a guy to want to go with a nice bum, because there are so many things that can make you not want to be with a person. There's so many things that can separate a good relationship. So if you have one more thing in your favor, i.e., she's got nice boobs, or i.e., he's 6'5". If you have that thing in your favor that keeps you there, why not? I think like, that's like a positive thing in my aspect, because it's one more thing that's keeping you in a relationship. Maybe it might make you think twice um, before you do something stupid, or before you leave the relationship, or it might make you want to actually work harder on it. So I don't think those expectations are realistic in that sense. But like I said previously, you may want a guy that's 6'5", but that 6'5" guy may want a girl that has big boobs and big bum but small waist. Do you fit that criteria? So it's like, it's okay to have those ambitions, but at the same time, what the part that needs to be realistic is, are you going to attract the thing that you want? And what are you doing to attract the type of person that you want? If I want a girl that's in shape, as you can see, I need to be in shape, right? I need to also be looking after my health if I want a girl that was looking after her health. That don't really make sense if I'm looking at the other aspect. So I think that's the part that needs to be weighted in reality. Is like, yeah, are you being realistic about your standards that you're setting for yourself? I think that also goes quite a long way. W's in the chat. That's a good question.
Um, Realistic or unrealistic about whether your partner should be replying to you quickly, like if they're out or their friends or like just throughout the day, like
Okay, that's a good question. So the question is it realistic expectation or standard that your partner replies to you quickly during the day when they're out and about, if they're with friends, etc.? This is a really good question. I would go so far to say that it is a standard. I wouldn't say that's unrealistic. But everything has a pinch of salt, right? If I'm at work and it's intensive and I'm in the office and you're not allowed to have your phones in the office, the manager's walking around, etc., then, I'm not going to be able to be there chatting to you all day. Maybe I can go to the toilet and reply to you in the toilet or on my lunch break. The appropriate times essentially is what I'm saying. But at least you're getting a reply and there's good communication and you know why. I think it's unrealistic to expect that same person to be replying to you every single day during the day, throughout the day. That's just unrealistic. If somebody's busy, someone's got a job or someone's got work to do or hanging out with friends or whatever, in the social situations or gatherings, that's a bit unrealistic. But good communication is not. And good communication is the standard, is what I would say. So I wouldn't say texting all the time or every day. I would say good communication is the standard, and that's like a bare minimum. And that's also something to be communicated with your partner when oh, I'm going to X event and there's no signal, it's on the ground, or I'm not going to be able to reply to you until after, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, W's in the chat. That's a very good question.
should your partner sharing like same dreams and aspirations as
Okay. So the question is, should your partner be sharing the same dreams and aspirations as you? Uh, W's in the chat. That's a good question. I would say it would be unreasonable to have your partner force your partner to have the same dreams as you. I think it's a little bit unreasonable because they have their personal journey, you have your personal journey, and then you have collective goals. The collective goals should be aligned for sure, but I think, you know, your version of a happy duper family is gonna be different to her version. It's just gonna be different. And where people kind of mess up is that they don't have the conversation before they get into the relationship, or before they take the next stage in the relationship. They get married, but they don't have a conversation of, what do I want my marriage to look like? How many times per week do we have sex? How many times per week do we go on a date? How many times per week can I just chill and see my friends and not even see my husband or see my wife? Those are the types of conversations you need to have before you get married, because then you set the right expectations, and also you need to update those combos because situations will change. Maybe every 6 months or every year, you might have an end of year, like, you know, meeting with your wife and be like, yo, let's review the year. Like, what did we enjoy? What goals did we hit? What personal goals did we hit? How can I support you, etc., etc.? And what do we need to change for the future? Maybe we had too many takeaways. Maybe we should have saved up for a holiday, etc., etc., etc. So you get the point. That's a good question. Interesting question. There, W's in the chat.
Um, wanting someone, actually, yeah, wanting someone with like who's never been intimate with someone else before, or has a low number of, I guess, partners.
Yeah.
That like,
Oh, wanting someone.
yeah, like wanting to,
Sorry, I didn't get to catch the first bit.
like wanting to be with someone who.
Boy, we probably should have. We're gonna walk. Hey, you ready to walk?
Wait, I didn't know. Wait,
No, it's like no more route, but it's an hour. I just realized.
sure.
It's too late now, boy. We committed.
I mean, do that.
It ain't that much difference.
I just cut it.
No, we already. We here now, boy.
See that. See that.
Then that's my point. We already passed the threshold. Anyway, yeah. So W question: is it a realistic expectation to want a spouse or a partner with a low body count, or essentially no body count? I don't think that's unrealistic at all. I think it might be hard for you to find. I think it may be very difficult for you to find. Is there an unrealistic standard? No. I mean, I can completely understand why anybody would want that. It makes sense to me. But the truth of the matter is, especially in the Western world, that may be very hard to find. You have to go for a very specific group of people for you to be able to achieve that goal. Realistically speaking, it may be very hard for you to find a person like that. So I think that's a normal, standard, um, you know, uh, standard to have. I think where you're going to find the problem is just finding somebody that meets those standards. That's where you find the problem. Like, finding somebody with those standards is going to be very difficult in this day and age. But W's in the chat. That's a good question.
What about like someone? It's kind of similar. Someone with no like emotional baggage, trauma.
Okay, so the question is it unrealistic to want a partner that has no trauma or baggage from previous relationships? It's completely unreasonable. I'm gonna tell you why. It's so unrealistic. It's unreasonable. Unrealistic. That person may have had no relationships. They could have literally been never in a boyfriend and girlfriend relationship, whatever, any type of relationship, and still have baggage and trauma from their parents. Still have baggage and trauma from their siblings. Like, or even the lack of trauma and baggage is the trauma. It gets like that. Some people just want their life to be interesting. They feel their life's too boring. And that's the freaking trauma. So I think it's unrealistic because everybody comes with their history, right? You don't know them from Adam, so everybody comes with their history, and don't get me wrong, there's levels to it, right? There's level to it. There's like, there might be somebody that have had experience, like a really traumatic experience, like, we don't need to get into the details of that, but and that might affect their ability to be intimate with a partner because of their previous experience, which is very unfortunate. I've seen that happen. I've experienced that happen. In an ideal world, yeah, you would probably not want to have that. But at what point in the relationship are you gonna be privy to that info? By the time you're privy to that info, you're already invested. It's probably already too late for you to pull out. No one's going around saying, "Hey, I had this and this and this in my history," by the way, just so you know. So by the time you actually find out, you already gone past the no way home mark, boy. You just have to sail that boat like Odysseus. You gotta have to keep on sailing that boat. Fight the demons on the way. It is what it is. Make your way home. So that one is just GG's. W's in the chat. It's a good question. We've done over 3K.
What about like, is it unrealistic to want someone to like from the jump tell them, like, tell you how it is, like communicate what they want straight away?
Right. I don't think. Okay, so the question is it unrealistic to expect somebody from the beginning of the relationship, very early stage of the relationship, to tell you exactly what they want from the relationship, right? Yeah. So I think that's not an unrealistic standard. It can be difficult though. I'll tell you why it'll be difficult, but first I'll tell you why it's not unrealistic. I think it's very well possible that as soon as you see someone, you're like, oh, that's my ex-girlfriend, or oh,
Jump over the spot.
yeah, let's not do it.
Yeah. Every time I see it, I always think it.
I can jump over it easy, so you can definitely do it. So anyway, it's not that high, bro.
But the dailies.
Yeah, you can try. I'm gonna be here. Yeah, just don't break your phone or anything, yeah. So I think in relation to that question, some people can know right from the beginning of seeing you early in the relationship what they want from the relationship. Have a practice. Have a practice. What about that green one there? It's lower. Yeah, practice how to jump, bro. Anyway, so that is like definitely definitely realistic. I feel less confident. I was gonna say, I've seen you do that. I feel less confident, bro. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Why is it me?
Can you do that?
I think so.
Have you ever done that before?
Yeah, I've jumped higher than this. You can even put it on the street. Yeah, I can jump through that. I can jump that too.
Okay, chat. Don't forget your phone, yeah. So, is it unrealistic standards to early in the relationship have the person tell you exactly what they want from the relationship? I don't think it's unrealistic. a lot of people can go into the relationship, and as soon as they see you, right, and you start talking to you, you can kind of tell, oh, this is going to be something long term, or oh, this is definitely going to be something short term. Um, so you can kind of tell. I think a lot of people may not know. I don't think it's unreasonable, but I think it's unrealistic because a lot of people, especially females, until they really see you and got a real handle of who you are as a guy, again, have a good understanding
Oh my
of your finances as a guy, how you operate, etc.
god.
So until they get that information, yeah, big dub.
A load of motions.
Until they get that information, they're probably not going to commit, right? They take a longer time to kind of make that commitment. If you haven't already got a certain level of clout, they need to figure you out, right? Whereas a guy, maybe they can already tell from the jump what they kind of want from the relationship. W's in the chat. Did you catch it?
Not yet. Struggling. No, he ran. All my days he ran.
Yeah, that's a long day.
He ran.
Brother just lost the motress.
Ran, bro. Nah, that's so deep. Why are you running? That's so deep.
Long day.
Why is he running from?
Why are you running?
Like, bro, what? A load of motions.
You all the way lit. Alright, next.
Um, oh, what about like different, like dating someone with a religion clash?
What, expecting somebody to convert?
Yeah.
Okay, so is it unrealistic to date someone with a different spiritual belief than you and expect them to convert? Short answer, it's incredibly unrealistic. Who the hell are you to think that they're going to change their whole belief system, probably embedded from their family, just to be with you? I mean, that's unrealistic. Does it happen? Yes. Have I seen it happen? Yeah. Is it unrealistic to expect that? Yes, 1000%. You can't expect that from someone. Would that person maybe be willing to make that decision? Fair enough. That's up to them, you know. But that's not a standard that you should have. You can't be like, oh, I'm a Jewish and I want everyone that's going to be with me to be Jewish, or I'm Christian, I want everyone to be with me to be Christian, etc., etc. I think that's unrealistic expectation. Um, like expecting these people to convert for you is very unrealistic. But it definitely happens, and sometimes it's an amazing thing. Especially if like the person maybe had no faith before and found the faith through their relationship. That could be quite amazing. But I think it's very unrealistic to expect that from people. I think that's quite a selfish viewpoint because you can just shop in your own shop, right? You don't need to shop into other shops. W's in the chat.
So I'm realistic to like think like to only date like one race, for example. But like, yeah, that's kind of the only reason
Okay, is it unrealistic to have a standard of only dating one race or in particular? No, I think that's okay. You can like what you like. Some people like Jamaican food, some people like Chinese food, some people like Indian food. The freedom is that you can go to whatever restaurant you like and eat whatever food that you like. I don't think it's an unrealistic standard. As long as nothing is derogatory, you know what I mean? But if you like what you like, I think, like I said, anything that's going to help you stay in that relationship, you should definitely do it. So if you like a particular race, date that race because you're more likely to stay because you have strong feelings about that particular race. So I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Only becomes a problem when it's a problem, right? When you're trying to force views on other people or making comments or statements or behavior that is derogatory to other groups that is in that particular group, then yeah, that's not cool. But you want to date, um, you want to date a particular race? Why not? Enjoy your cuisine. There's so much cuisine out there. W's in the chat. Next question.
Expecting your partner's like passwords and like account information.
Okay, so is it unrealistic to expect your partner to give you the password to their phone or maybe their Instagram, etc., social media accounts? I think that's it's a bit of a gray area, but I would say it's unrealistic because as much as you want to be able to have the complete clarity, being able to just look at that person's DMs for yourself, the other side of that is like there's two parts to that. One is, are you with somebody that you don't trust enough that that's what you need to do to feel secure? Um, you know, if you feel like they're hiding something from you and you don't like that, then you probably just shouldn't be with them. If you haven't been able to develop that trust, or if they've done behavior in the past that's made you feel like they're untrustworthy. So that's number one. Number two is, I say this kind of like, my answer to this all the time is, if it's freely given, then yeah. Or if there's a scenario or situation socially or in real life where you need those things, then sure. But again, you have your own phone. How often do you need to use another person's phone? How often do you need to be using another person's social media? Really and truly, you got no business there. Really and truly. In the same way that they have no business in your phone, really and truly. Unless, like I said, you're in a relationship where there's certain circumstances, I don't know, you're in the toilet and, you know, I don't know, like somebody else she needs to grab your phone and order some food or something. Yeah, that's just normal. So maybe she has to go to your phone in that scenario because it happened naturally. I think it's a little bit unrealistic to expect that. There's nothing wrong with having that standard though. I'll say that though. I will say there's nothing wrong with it, but it could be a bit unrealistic. Now we're going full bucket hat mode because the sun is sunning. You know what I mean?
Definitely here. See that.
Okay, W's in the chat. Next question.
Like, expecting your partner to like sort of just understand. Yeah, like you know, like when your partner's like, oh, they're upset. They don't know what's wrong. Yeah, I'm listening. Regardless.
Yeah, that's a very good question. So, is it unrealistic to expect your partner to be able to know what's wrong with you without you having to explain? The short answer for that is hell yes. That is unrealistic, bro. Come back down to earth. We're not in a Marvel movie. Nobody can mind read. Let's be realistic here. Yeah. If there's something going on with you, it's 100% your responsibility to communicate that. For sure, maybe you'd want your partner to initiate a conversation, especially if they're the person that started the problem in the first place. You'd probably want them to be like, hey, by the way, X, Y, and Z, I can see that you're a little bit off. Like, do you want to talk to me about it? But you can't expect them to be like, hey, I already know what's wrong. here's two pizzas because you're hungry and you're tired at the same time. You know what I'm saying? That's just unrealistic. It's just not realistic.
I feel like you can get to a level where you know your partner that length or that level that way that you can kind of tell what's wrong.
No, you can see, you can tell when anyone is upset just by looking at their face and their body expression. You can tell when anyone in the street is upset. But that's not the point. The point is why.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like you can tell the why. I feel like you can get to a point where you can tell the why.
Yeah, mate, you're unrealistic.
Yeah, that's unrealistic.
Yeah, you're not living in this planet either, man. You need to go back down to earth as well. It's not realistic, bro. That's fairy tale talk. What they tell you on the memes and the movies. That's not realistic, bro. Reality is communication.
Communication is key.
Yeah, people think people think exactly like that. Oh, he's known me for 10 years. He should know why I'm upset. He may know that you're upset. He may even know how to help you, like to cheer you up, to buy you some pizza, buy you some ice cream, etc. But, you know, to expect that same person to just magically know the intricate reasons why, yeah, it's just not realistic. Assumptions is what creates a lot of unnecessary complications. Just. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that any time, to be honest.
What's good tonight?
Check the price. Ask me the next question and then check the price.
It's under 10 pounds.
Or is it us?
Smooth like gestures or like sending memes and that or
Say that again. I didn't hear the question.
like this is what I'm listening to have as a bare minimum expectation to like have like memes with each other or playlists about this person or kind of thing.
They might be upset with me coming in there with a camera. I'm gonna finish this. Just go ask them the price. So the question is it unrealistic to have the expectation of shared playlists or sending each other memes, etc., etc.? I think the short answer to that is I don't think it's unrealistic expectation or standard. But again, that would need to really be communicated well with your partner. Not everybody, not everybody's gonna behave that way. Not everybody's on their phone all the time. Not many people are always big on social media or even big on music, for example, or can even afford a subscription. So that I think you've got to take that with a pinch of salt. Essentially, what I think that is just having shared moments together. Is it unrealistic expectation to have things that are just between you two, like the little inside jokes? No, I don't think that's unrealistic. I was actually reading a post today, I think it was this morning, about a woman that ended her marriage because the guy that she was with, is it marriage or relationship? It might have been this relationship. But anyway, ended the relationship with this guy because she felt like he wasn't funny enough. He was super kind, super intelligent, had a very well-paying job, was responsible, you know, very kind guy, but was just kind of reserved. Was a reserved type of guy, like the guy that would kind of like chill, be a bit more silent type. Wouldn't He's not the life of the party type thing. He doesn't really tell that many jokes. But she was just complaining that she didn't have enough laughs with him, and that's why she split up with him because he couldn't make her laugh. Um, I like half of the Reddit post was like cussing her and saying, I'm glad that you regret it now that he's moved on and found another woman. But the reality is, you're going to have to compromise something. There's no perfect human. So it's about where is the compromise? Where do you want that compromise? Because you're going to have to compromise something. There's no 100% human being. You know, there's going to be some part of that person that you don't like. So everybody has to compromise. So it's about taking your pick. And clearly, it wasn't a good pick. So that's just GG's. So she's regretting it now. But I also feel like, to be honest with you, uh, you know, maybe that wasn't a bad idea because she can find somebody that, well, she can marry a comedian, huh? Right? And she's laughing every day, huh? And he can go marry the type of girl that he wants as well. So that's the situational scenario of wanting to share moments with your significant other or wanting to have like little inside jokes, like playlists, memes, etc. I think there's nothing wrong with that. But the reality of that and, you know, the reality of that is different. And how you communicate that to your partner is different. And I think some people don't really ask the right questions during the dating phase. Like the dating phase is to get to know this person in as many different scenarios as possible. So you can see whether this is somebody that you want to have a future with. That is really the whole point of dating, right? You're seeing whether, oh, let me pause my walking out. Yeah, you're seeing whether this person is the right fit for you, whether it makes sense, whether whether you can see yourself with this person long term or short term. So that's kind of where we're at. So that was like W's in the chat. That was a really good question. I'm just wondering when. I'm wondering when my brother's gonna get back because we meant to be swimming right now. Well, not swimming right now. We're trying to find out how much it would be for us to go into the swimming pool. Because not even I know. You know, like swimming pools are a bit different. Life has changed. Plus, it's super busy now, huh? It's probably going to be mad packed. Because it's so sunny in the UK. I mean, I'm not complaining about that, but I was just respecting people's privacy and not bringing a camera into a place where, people are potentially getting changed. So I'm being a reasonable young man. But W's in the chat. Let me get. No, he's still waiting. Let me get the next question for y'all. Okay, so the next question is it unreasonable to want a partner that who already has a house, car, successful career, and a perfect lifestyle? Like an ambition, basically expecting the finished product without supporting the journey. So, is it unrealistic to expect the finished product from your partner without having supported the journey? This is an interesting one, right? The short answer is I think it's okay to have that standard. I think that's okay. If your standard is, oh, I want to be with like Beyonce, or I want to be with Zendaya or Tom Holland or Damson Idris. That's okay. Is it realistic? Probably not. But is it reasonable? I could say to an extent it's a reasonable. I could say to an extent it's a reasonable standard. If you want to have a guy that's already established, already, done his time, done the work. But with that standard, it's gonna come major compromise on your side. Like as a female, you will have to majorly compromise. Because that guy's already got everything that he's got. So if he's got all these resources, you haven't helped him along the way. You're gonna skin in the game. For what reason should he share his resources with you? You weren't there. You and I ain't with me shooting in the gym, but you on the games. And we cooked.
I'm not good. This one, this man just pushed in front of me. Like, I guess he didn't really
But white guy,
know English too well. Like, so just didn't really see that I was in the queue. It's fine. I have to wait for him to sign up a whole membership. And then I got served. And after that, I got served by a lady. Like, this girl can't have been probably in my year, which is why it made me laugh. Because she was definitely was feeling my energy when I asked the question. Which made me laugh. But it's like it's £7.75. Because it's 10
£75.
£7.75.
So it's £8 to swim for how long? An hour, 2 hours. Because of what time?
10
PM.
for adults.
What time did it start?
6 a.m.
Is that daily?
Yeah.
Not 6 a.m. No, they've got classes, bro.
She said you can swim from 6 a.m. Yeah.
And that £7 whatever is for how long?
So one time.
If not today,
Let's go home and see. I get these two officers this week. Why not?
ooh, man, too cooked for that. But yeah, sure. No, we can try. We can try. We can try. I don't.
Really, he's Telemachus. He's Telemachus. Waiting for this is to come for 20 years. That's all to me.
Yeah, it's a tough one. So yeah, as I was saying, if you're expecting to come into a relationship with a guy that's already established and is already putting all that hard work, you really need to think twice because yeah, it's obviously it's an immediate upgrade probably from your current lifestyle for sure. But at the same time, you're gonna have to compromise and be playing everything by his terms because he has all of the power in that scenario, and more than likely you're very replaceable in that scenario. So your value in that aspect is quite low, whereas his value is quite high in that aspect. So I don't know. That's something that you need to think for yourself, whether that is something that you want, whether it's reasonable. I would think twice about that. Like the joys of that is, I know we're seeing it a lot now in like this hypergamy. Everyone's just suddenly figured out what this word means. Um, we're seeing it a lot now in social media. I mean, it's happened forever, right? But what you don't see, because all you see is her posting her new Chanel bag or posting her, I'm on this trip, I'm on that trip. You don't know what's going on behind like closed doors, and you don't know, uh, like I said, like how that person is being treated outside of the public sphere that you see on social media. So I would really, really think twice before you purposely put yourself in a vulnerable position. Um, Unless that's really what you want, and if you just want to follow the leader, there's plenty of leaders that would love that. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think I don't think it's unrealistic to have that standard, but I think that standard comes with some unrealistic expectations that you really need to just kind of make sure that you're on point with. W's in the chat, what are you saying, brother?
Yeah, I'm good.
We've got like one or two more.
Question.
Yeah, we'll finish it at the
Say like
hour mark. Yeah,
your partner to have a certain phone. Like you might be like, I'm gonna date the girl and have iPhone XR or lower.
I mean, this is going to be a very, very short question and answer. Is it unrealistic to expect your partner to have a certain phone? Yes. And you should probably ask that question before you even waste each other's time. That's the short answer to that.
Let's go.
Well, we need to go there, but that's long, so it's the quickest way. All right. Last question. Last question. Last question. We're saying just
James
take
asked me.
asking what about swimming pool, about walking.
Yeah, you asked me where I am. I'm going home. I'm going home. I'm crashing out. KFC sides.
You see, just tell them to come link us. We're by McDonald's. Huh?
Yeah, he said, oh, you getting rage bait. Not like
By who?
because I said we were at the venue 10 minutes ago.
So why are you saying KFC when we're nowhere near KFC?
Nah, he said it's done.
Is he going home?
No, he's coming. I said we're by Mackey's. So he's coming. So we better be by Mackey's.
All right. We're about to be done with the podcast chat. Let's just say hi to the broski and then see if he has a question about expectation and realistic expectations. If not, then we're gonna call it a day. I don't mind going swimming. I was gonna stream tonight, but
I've been wanting to go swimming. I mean, I went in the sea in the.
it's just that me and James are probably both cooked. So
Yeah,
we
that's
did.
why it's even better.
Yeah, in some ways it's a good thing. In some ways it's a good thing. But if I go swimming, I am not streaming, boy.
Especially if you're cooked.
I'm not streaming. It's one or the other.
Better if you're cooked. Trust me.
Are we done?
Yeah, I think it's better.
All right, guys, we're gonna end stream. Love. Hope you have a wonderful day. Like, comment, and subscribe. Bucket Hat Talks. If you want to be on the podcast, drop a comment below. Love.